Gabrielle here, walking day 111, the hopeless character. Within this point, walking through the feeling of hopelessness and living into this hopelessness feeling of the heaviness and the depression within myself, within looking at the tasks that are set in front of me, the tasks that I set in front of me, and seeing them too big, impossible, too much, and then going into this feeling of hopelessness, like I can't push through, I can't walk through it. And I realized within the self-forgiveness that this was a point of self-interest and a point of like a backdoor to use to, not have to push myself and push through the resistances, push through the physical resistances as heaviness and depression feeling, and find the way to, walk the solution. Because when you look at a project or a point that you're working with or you're working towards within a point of the whole, looking at what you have to do and, the whole project, that hopelessness feeling can come upon you because it seems big. There's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot that has to be walked. And so to achieve the goal, you have to look at it within steps, within, a breath-by-breath type process, like a step-by-step process to slowly work at the end goal, work at the, whole project, take it piece by piece, and eventually the whole point will be completed. For instance, I'm working on painting the stables at the moment at the farm here, and it's a big project because I'm doing it by myself, and it's up on a ladder because it's pretty high up there, and so you have to, it's a lot of stables, a lot of wood, and in the beginning it seems like well, it's not a huge project, but it seems like a pretty big project because it takes a lot of time to do one stable and a lot of movement of the ladder and cleaning of the wood. And so, I had to take it one stable at a time, one piece of wood at a time, clean the wood, paint the wood, move on to the next spot, clean the wood, paint the wood, move on to the next spot. And I've accumulated over the last week and a half, and now the whole stable wood is completed, and now I'm moving on to the front wood. And again, it's step by step. Every day, do the work you can do, do the best you can do, and then work on it the next day, work on it the next time you have time. Use your common sense assessment, use the equality equation of, doing what's best in a day and then moving on and doing the next point that's best. Then eventually accumulates and the job is complete. So there's really no point in going into this hopelessness character, as I realize it's the mind, it's not physical, it's not here, so just a point of allowing myself to go into that, self-interest, not wanting to push through and accepting resistances and not pushing myself, not, standing as my own self-will and just doing the project, doing what has to be done, moving myself and, getting the point walked through and done. Because at the end of the day, it helps others, it, assists other people, it will assist myself, showing that I can walk through points, I can walk through big projects, I can use my skills to get the project done, And with this example now, all the stable wood's complete and it will be good for another year. And so it's a point of assisting the group. And another point that was cool that came up, and we have to feed and give the horses water and hay and all that stuff at the end of the day when they come back from the fields. And there's this hose, and the nozzle comes off, you fill the water bucket, and then you have to put the nozzle back on. It's like a clip thing, you push it into it, and it's really hard to do. You have to get it a certain way and push it in, and usually I struggle with it. And before I even start the task, I have this hopelessness feeling within myself that it's not going to work, it's going to take me forever, it's going to be really hard. And then one day I just stood up within myself and I said, I'm just going to do it right now. And I put the hose in, put it in the water, put the nozzle in, pushed it, just one hard push, and it clipped in and it was done. So it's another point of realizing that the mentality of hopelessness and giving up is what you're going to give out in your day, give out in your life. You're going to be down, you're going to be heavy, and you're going to resist things because you believe that you can't do it, that it's hopeless. But if you make the decision, walk the decision, stand as the decision, put the hose in, clip one time, clipped, done. And it was just a decision I made before I did it, and it was done. So it's actually a cool point to realize that it's all about making the decision, standing as a decision, moving as a decision, and not looking back, not frittering around in your mind in hopelessness and it's too big, it can't be done, it's impossible. Everything is achievable. It has to be looked at and considered in common sense and assessed in manageable steps. Breath by breath is the key to walking process and walking points out. Take it one day at a time, one step at a time, one breath at a time, and do what you can do in a breath, in a step, in a day. Okay, so that was my point in the hopelessness character. Not allowing resistances, making the decision, and standing as a decision. Alright, thanks for listening.